Today, we're driving an ambitious luxury sedan, the Audi V8. Its most important components? Four-wheel drive, 8 cylinders and 0 headaches, thanks to its automatic transmission. In 1988, Audi CEO Ferdinand Piëch ventured into the luxury league with the V8. Back then, luxury was strictly the domain of the Mercedes-Benz S-Class and the BMW 7 Series. As our test driver Christoph recalls, when Ferdinand Piëch was about to present his newest baby back then, he said the Audi V8 was sure to stir up the entire luxury class. So expectations were high and the press couldn't stop speculating about its name. Perhaps Audi 300 or Porsche, a reference to the premium brand's founder, August Porsche. Not a chance. That Audi's new luxury model was simply referred to by its initials V8 was bad enough. Much worse was that this new top-of-the-line model was the spitting image of Audi's mid-range cars 100 and 200, which both looked outdated and unexciting. But despite similarities in design, V8 technology is far superior to its middle-class cousins. Christoph can only agree that the car feels incredibly athletic and dynamic. Its cornering is excellent, he says, and you'd have to work hard to drive it off track. Despite its many technical innovations, it can withstand a whole slew of endurance tests without even the slightest misfire. Which is great, considering that even back then, individual replacement parts were astronomically high. A new motor, for example, cost 20,000 marks. That's as much as a brand new Golf. When it comes to performance, the V8 engine's 3.6-litre capacity and 250 horsepower weren't initially convincing. It wasn't until 1991 that its 280 horsepower, 4.2-litre motor brought the car's performance back on par with expectations. On automatic, the V8 powers from 0 to 100 in under 8 seconds and reaches a top speed of 249. More hands-on people can reach 100 in less than 7 seconds, in any weather and on any surface. For the cleverly designed four-wheel drive distributes power to the wheels with the most traction. Ideally, that means the power is distributed evenly between the front and the back axle, but in extreme cases it can send 100% to just one axle. To demonstrate the four-wheel drive superiority, they sent the V8 straight to the racetrack. In 1990, Hans-Joachim Stuck won the German Touring Car Championship. In 1991, his team colleague Frank Biela triumphed. The drivers dubbed their V8 Quattro DTM with 420 PS the chauffeur's limousine, and even competitors were joking about the taxi. In the end, the Audi pilots had the last laugh. When the Audi V8 came into the market in 1988, there was only one equipment variant, and it had a catch. With automatic transmission, air conditioning and leather and walnut interior, it was almost 30% more expensive than the competitors' BMW and Mercedes basic models. But it has four-wheel drive, so you can even drive it through a sandpit like this. The competition couldn't manage that. But who pays 100,000 marks for a car that looks like an overweight Audi 100? Being understated is not a winning argument when it comes to the luxury series. The similarity is no coincidence either. The fully galvanized V8 inherited its floor assembly and central section from the 100 model. Yet its bulky rear, newly designed front and flared fenders weren't enough to distinguish it from middle-class models. What were, though, were technical treats like the 4-position memory seat function and its safety system Procon 10. In a head-on collision, it tightens the seat belts and pulls the steering column away from the driver, making the Audi V8 one of the safest cars of its class. Our test driver points out another highlight that's hidden directly in the name V8. The fully redesigned 8-cylinder engine, complete with 32 valves and 4 overhead camshafts. Made entirely of aluminium, it's particularly durable and can easily last 400,000 kilometers with the proper care. However, there were only a few mechanics who really understood this complex technology, so Audi found its specialized V8 support bases. There, and only there, is the brand's flagship truly in good hands. Christoph was impressed by the driving dynamics and says the best place to sit in a V8 is behind the wheel. This is a fun car, not one to be chauffeured in, and only 1% of the buyers chose the more expensive long version. But that wasn't the only reason sales figures lagged behind expectations. Audi struggled to find new customers, presenting a cheaper basic model and launching a huge marketing campaign with packages, guaranteed mobility, the works. Meanwhile, the competitors were joking Audi would soon start shining customers' shoes just to get them into their car.
Die Konkurrenz, die macht sich lustig und sagt, ja, demnächst werden den Kunden noch die Schuhe geputzt, damit sie in dieses Auto einsteigen.
In the 6 years it was manufactured, only 21,000 well-to-do customers chose the Audi V8. Initial planning had calculated 14,000 models a year. The alternative in the luxury class found only exceptional buyers. Christoph agrees the V8 certainly wasn't a financial success, but it did set the trend for four-wheel drive in upper-class models, and the driving dynamics and safety were enough to convince even the stoutest skeptic. As the first upper-class Audi and the first luxury sedan with four-wheel drive, the Audi V8 was definitely a milestone in car history. The succeeding A8 finally managed the anticipated breakthrough. It firmly positioned Audi in the luxury car class and even became a state car.